Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me funny, lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Hey, so great to talk to the both of you. Congratulations on the movie. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I've slept the same since, but congratulations to the both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
You know, I want to start with this because to me, yes, it's a horror movie. Yes, it's a thriller. But there are so many different, I think, facets to this film. This is a question for both of you, and Chloe, we could start with you. Is what was the initial appeal when you read this and this project came to you? What was the appeal for you about it?
The appeal was, I loved how it was about a film within a film, number one. And I loved all of the different relationships and the character building that it had within the story. I'm a huge scaredy cat. So the selling point for me wasn't the jump scares, but it was the story that was written around it. And I'm really happy that I did it.
And Ryan?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of strong character here. I was really attracted to Lee. I think there's a lot of opportunity to really dive into like the tragedy and the depth of that. She's a really complex character. But yeah, we didn't really approach it as a scary story so much as we did like a character study and a family drama and a romance. You know, there's a lot of different really strong characters in the film, and each of them have their own intersecting relationships, which was really exciting. But also I do love horror, and the idea of subverting some of those expectations and tropes was really exciting.
And that is such a great point, because the tropes that you think of a normal horror movie, this movie is not that. It is multifaceted, it's multi-layered. There's so many different directions that it goes. And I guess, Ryan, can you talk about, you know, Joshua John Miller and M.A. and their vision for this and how that helped kind of guide the process along?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously Josh has a connection to the original Exorcist film. His dad was in it. And I think this movie really does come from a place of love for the genre and the tradition of the Exorcist, you know, tropes. We love those movies, and we wanted to take those themes and sort of confront them and go, okay, but why is it like this? Why is it always a young woman powerless and a man saving her? And how can we still respect this genre that we love, but sort of take it further and push that envelope? And that was sort of always the goal. And it does come from a place of love and a place of hope. I think that love and that hope is really present throughout the film. And we just wanted to make this movie as a love letter, but also to say like, hey, what does the future hold for specifically queer people in horror, you know?
And Chloe, I mean, almost the same question about Joshua John Miller and his vision, and also the cast working with, when you have, you know, people like Ryan or Russell Crowe and the others. How was kind of the vibe on the set and working and learning with each other?
You know, funny enough, the vibe was so positive on set, which I didn't go into expecting, because we are creating such dark material. but everyone treated me with so much love and kindness, and I had the best time with Ryan. Like, I think we were the only two around our age range
Yeah.
on set, so we spent a lot of time together, and it was just really great. Russell was like a huge teddy bear. Just watching him work, I learned a lot, as well as with Ryan. So it was definitely a great experience that I don't regret.
What is it you learned specifically from him, Chloe? Because I feel like any instance in any interaction we have, whether it's this interview or you're on a set like it is, you learn from it in some way and you carry that forward. Was there one thing that stood out in particularly?
I think it's the way he gets lost within the story and his character, even after the scene is done, which is really dope. And this was me 4 years ago, so it was definitely new for me to see that, and it definitely was the beginning of my love budding so much for acting.
And Ryan, again, I don't want people to think this is a straight up horror film because, like you said, there are so many layers to it. But when you're making a horror movie and in the movie you're making a horror movie, there's a lot of creepy things that tend to happen. I tend to take my work home with me. Is this something that you take home with you? Are there things that made it a little bit harder to rest at night?
Yeah, totally. Not in like a haunting way. Like I didn't feel like I was getting possessed or whatever. But I would like, I mean, we were working like 16-hour days for like 2 months. I had like 3 days off. The first like 2 or 3 weeks I was working 6 days a week. Like it was exhausting. And I would go home and literally still hear, I would close my eyes to go to bed and I could hear the AD in my head, like as I was falling asleep. So it was a big lesson in like separating yourself from that. I remember Disney Plus was like a brand new thing and my little brother got it. So I like logged onto a Disney Plus account and would like decompress by turning on like Treasure Planet, which David Hyde Pierce is in. It was one of my favorites as a kid. So I like tucked myself into bed and got like Postmates and rewatched Treasure Planet, like little things like that. Because it is, I mean, when you are dealing with and do it all over again. Going deeper and deeper, whether it's a scene where you're fighting demons or it's a scene where you're arguing with your father, it's hard for that not to affect you. So it was definitely a lesson in creating that space.
Well, congratulations to the both of you on this movie. Again, I enjoyed it. I'm sure everyone will enjoy it, and I enjoyed having a second to talk to the both of you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.